So I'm going to introduce two brackets, and I know that this is going to be x times x. That's going to get me my x squared term. 3 times 3, and that's going to get me 9. And plus, because everything is plus. And so this is factorized and done. The next one is 2x squared plus 5x plus 3. All right, 2x squared plus 5x plus 3. I'm now going to introduce the bracket here. This is going to be 2x. This is 2x. This is going to be 3 and 1. That's going to give me plus, and that's going to give me plus as well. If I put it the other way around, it will be incorrect. If I put 3 here, I'll end up with 6 and 1, which will be 7x. So I must make sure if I check, I'll know if I'm correct. Okay, so that one's done. Question 3. 3x squared minus 12x minus 15. 3 and 2 is quite nice because you know the first term is going to be 3x and x, or 2x and x, because it's going to give you 3x squared. And 15 is going to be 3 and 5. So I put 3 here and 5 here. This will be 9 and 5, and that'll get me 14, which probably won't work, right? So that's not going to work. Maybe I swap it around. What happens when I swap it around? I put 5 over here and 2 here. That'll become 15 and 2. Oh, that's not 2. That's supposed to be 3. So 15 and 3. I mean, I want to get to 12, right? So that's fine. 15, 3 minus that one plus that one. So that becomes, nope, that'll be positive. So wrong sign. Got to be the other way around. This is going to be positive. That's going to be negative because that will ensure that the middle term is negative. And plus times minus ensures that my last term has a minus in it. Okay. So factorizing this, remember, we're creating brackets from here. So my final answer is going to be that. Okay, question number 4. If I've got x cubed minus 8, how do I factorize the cubed value? How do I factorize x cubed minus 8? Let's have a look at this one separately. X to the power of 3 minus 8 is now cubic. So if I've got x cubed minus 8, it's going to end up with some bracket, a trinomial, with a squared function. Now remember, if I start with a squared function, and the next function is an x function, I'm going to have some x function and some constant. Here I'm just going to have some constant. That's it, nothing else. Now, x squared times x will get me x cubed. So I know I can see that, right? The first two terms will get me my first term. The last two terms must get me 8. All right, so let's suppose this was 1 and this was 8. Okay. If this was 1 and this was 8, I could make this positive and I could make this negative. But the question is now, what would that term be over there? All right. Now, I know for a fact, conveniently, in this particular question, I can see that if I put 2 in here, 2 to the power of 3 minus 8, right, works out. So it's a factor. It's equal to 0, right? That means I can put 2 in there and it will work. So that means x equals to 2, which is the same as x minus 2, should be there. So I should make that a 2, and that would mean that would become a 4. And that's where I should have went. I should have changed this into 2, changed that into 4, and make one of them positive and negative. But this one has to be negative because that implies that x is equal to 2. Because positive 2 to the power of 3 minus 8 equals 0. Negative 2 to the power of 3 minus 8 is actually negative 8 minus 8, which is actually negative 16. So negative doesn't work. And if you have a negative in a bracket, you have a positive in the answer if it was equal to 0. Okay, so x minus 2, guaranteed one of the brackets. Now that I have definite answer on the second bracket, I can use the second bracket to get the first bracket. First two terms, remember. The last two terms mean that this has to be positive 4. I'm going step by step. Positive 4 gets me negative 8. All I need now is this middle term over here. Okay. I need this middle term over here. And to do that, what I'm going to do is the following. I'm going to create some term that's going to cancel out. Now this x term and this x term, so this is plus 4x, right? So if I multiply this out, x squared will get x cubed and an x squared term. If I take this term, I'll get x squared, and if I multiply it by that, I'll get minus 2, let's call it kx, all right? So this has to be some kx value term. So here we go. That's going to be cubed minus x squared. Kx squared minus 2kx. So minus 2kx over here. Now, the next thing is, if I go 4 in x, I get 4x. And if I go 4 in negative 2, it will just become a constant, which means these will be the only two x terms. And this, by the way, has to equal 0. These two terms have to disappear because we need to have a 0x at some point, and also a 0x squared as well. So we could have done the same thing with x squared as well. Let's go through that again. So what did I have? I had this missing piece here, right? I'm going to call it kx. I'm going to combine this x term. I'm going to combine that negative 2kx term over there. And then from this, I'm going to make that equal to 0 and see what will happen if I do that. What will k become? Now, if I move this to the other side, 4x is equal to 2kx. And I divide both sides by 2x. I get k to be 2. So that means I can write this in its initial factorized form as plus 2x plus 4 times x minus 2, and it should work out. Now we can double check it for the x squared term. Does the x squared term also become 0x squared when we multiply it out? And let's check that. So x squared is going to become negative 2x squared when we multiply it with negative 2. And this is going to become positive 2x squared, and look at that, disappears. The x squared term will disappear. And then this is 4x, and that is minus 4x, and that'll disappear as well. So that's it. And now factorize it. Okay, let's go to question number 5 now. Question number 5, we've got 4x squared minus 12x plus 9. We can't divide anything, so we can't really simplify that any further. So what I'm going to do is, let's suppose this is 2x, and this is 2x, this is 3, and this is 3. Then this will become 4x squared, because that'll be 9. This will become 6 and 6. Look at it. Negative and negative, and I'm done. 2x minus 3, 2x minus 3, and I've now factorized it.